Do you all remember Cap's Commissary? You know, that event that Kabam put out several months ago? I say several months ago, it was last year. Oh, by the way, good thumbnail. That's I'm pretty certain. Very familiar, yes. That particular event. The event where they had tons of images of it like this. Do you remember? You actually got to trade in like your gold, your awakening gems into this particular event. It was kind of weird because Kabam, prior to that, basically made this big thing about hoarding resources and the extent of trading them in to get stuff back. Now, it wasn't just about kind of going, okay, you got a load of gold, great, swap it for some stuff that's good. And that was fantastic because there were some nice things at the time from a meta perspective that you're like, yeah, that's actually pretty darn decent. A lot of people were very much interested in things like the 7-star crystal bundle. And of course, there was other things as well. But the biggest thing about this particular event was spending your units. And for some, there were good deals, and for others, there were not so good deals. Some stuff that I think a lot of players would have been like, hey, I want a lot more from this. But at the time, I don't think there was there a Valiant? No, there was no Valiant title. It would be at the end of last year that we saw the Valiant title. So prior to that, very much the meta was wrapped around what Paragon was, or what is now to be very early Paragon, or say late Thronebreaker. Wow, meta's changed. Like the reward structure breakdown of people acquiring things is very different than it was last year. Now, Cap's Commissary did have a solo event, quite familiar style to it. You know, the one that we just had like about a week or two ago, where right at the end of it you could get Weapon X, in that a 7-star was right at the end of it. There was other things as well as part of it. You could get like milestones, but you had to spend units to get points, same way as we said with the Weapon X type thing. And this was a bit of a tricky one. This came out, I think, about 3-4 months after the 7-star celebration event. Does anybody remember that one? It was honestly, there's been loads of things in MCOC, but I think there's at times spending units to get stuff seems to be a thing at the moment with these events, and more will probably continue. Right at the end of it, there was the opportunity to pick up a 7-star Silver Warrior. If you were Paragon, Thronebreaker, and Cavalier players, got the opportunity for a 7-star Hero Crystal. And of course, there will be the question of, Rich, what's the point of this video? Do you have a point? You're getting to the point. And yes, well, I need to take you on a journey. You can't just go, this is a video about save 20,000 units for an event that may or may not happen. There we go. That's the video. Goodbye. But of course, it's not always the same as saying that's it, that's the video, that's your takeaway from it. There needs to be provided context to it, because you might be going, well, I still have no idea what you're referring to with Cap's Commissary. Is it coming back? Well, we don't know. So, what was last time? Why do I need 20,000 units? How do I get 20,000 units? Are also branch off questions that we need to answer in this video, and of course, we're going to do that. I went back in time to my spreadsheet when I covered this. There were two options, one that was like a no unit spend and one that was a unit spend. Why? Again, we need to add further context to this, is that if you didn't want to spend any units in that particular event, you could only get a certain amount of points. Believe it or not, it's another Kabam event when points mean prizes, and trying to get those points will cost you depending on how far you want to invest into that particular event to gather what you need to. And I think, based on the information, that if you did it from a free perspective, of course it will cost you a certain amount of gold, which I think was like 11 mil gold at the time to get some of the decent stuff, which was like a 6-star bundle, 3 6-star bundles, in fact, with gold. And of course, what it meant for the extent of points. And then you look at other elements of it, like loyalty selector. Yeah, just spending points. But the units, and that's, again, one of the crucial things, is getting those 20,000 units and why you needed them. So in order to spend, you would need a certain 6-star bundle, which they had as bundle 4, and then there was the 6-star hero shard bundle, which of course, it was just like a generic thing that you kind of picked up. I think we can find, but the point, 20,000 units. We'll come back to that in a minute, and the farming of said thing. So in some of the various bundles, like these ones, the ones here that we mentioned earlier, again, spending points sorry, spending units means points, and points means prizes. You spend that with a unit, then you get something. Will this be 6-star stuff if they did a Caps Commissary? Well, it might not be Caps Commissary 2. It will probably be something that has a new name to it. And effectively what Kabam want to do, because again, adding extra context to this and logic dictates, Kabam want you to part with your units before something like Cyber Weekend deals. So this is kind of something that is it's got a blanket, it's got a veil of deception to it, in that's what Kabam want to do. I don't think they mean to do that. I think they just want to get you spending on stuff. So they'll probably put something spicy in an event like this, like a Caps Commissary with the solo event like that. But it probably won't be Caps. You know, we had Sinister, Sideshow, Bob thing deals about, what, 3-4 weeks ago? Sorry, 3 weeks ago. Or 2 weeks ago. And we're likely to see something in that particular window. I think we had something at the start of the year as well that was like this, to kind of make us part with our units. That's right, it was the Valiant Crystals, and it was a Mega Days. And we've got something that was, what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Higher, Further, Faster-ish. In that, buy daily deals. It's not really units based this time, because that's basically like, hey, do you want to get a duped version of Captain Marvel movie? Well, go and spend about $300 to $400 worth, or upwards of $1,000 in order to get a 7-star, or dupe said 7-star in the in the process of it. Now, if you think that this is going to return, I personally think we're going to see something like it. It won't be Caps Commissary 2, it will be like it, because, you know, Kabam put these things out more regularly. And if you want to get the units in time, then you've got to go farm them, right? You've got to go farm them. The best thing I can say to do with this is to go to, if you want 20,000 units, and that may be how, like for me, I only need 8,000 units. If Kabam roll up something like this, and 20,000 units is the most. Now, we saw with Weapon X, 36,000. There will be other deals as well. Kabam will put out some other deals with things. And it may not be, it may be like, oh, you get units, but you also get things like Nexus crystals or whatever. The reason that I say that is Kabam did have a trade-in type event with it on, I don't know, oh, there it is. To get a 7-star, you need to trade in 11 mythic crystals. So maybe Kabam will have something similar to that one. Unfortunately, that may mean hoarding now. It may mean hoarding gold, possibly. We'll have to see, can't predict the future. But by doing various events, you can get yourself with a good footing to get a certain amount of units, which will be beneficial for the event as a whole. But you will have to grind arena. Sorry, that's again another reality that you'll have to face. If you want to get potentially far in the whatever thing is coming up, unit trading event or whatever it's going to be, they may have something that incorporates into the Legends event for August. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe we'll do it in September. Maybe it's going to be a case that I'm going to be in a sauna covering the content like I was last year. There is actually a very strong possibility, if Kabam put it out in September, that I will literally be making videos from a sauna. There you go. If anybody remembers those sauna streams, thank you. And put it in the comments as well. I'll be looking forward to doing some stuff like that. Anyway, that's been the video. Go and farm various areas. Try and get to about 20,000 units. It may be enough or it may not be, depending on how welcoming Kabam want to be with the 36,000 units they did recently for Weapon X. But that's been the video. Have a lovely day and see you soon. Bye-bye.